Well, listen, let's move on because we have the Clash of the Champions 21 now up, and it takes place in Macon, Georgia on November 18th, 1992. Any memories of Macon, Georgia, Arn? Anything that comes to mind about Macon?
Let's see when we get there.
All right. Well, listen, 7,500 fans were in attendance for the show, but only 700 of those were paid.
Wait a minute.
That's what the research guy has. 7,500 fans were in attendance, but only 700 of those were paid.
So 7,000 were comped.
Oh, come on! Ah, man, I think our guy was smoking the wacky weed when he
Yeah,
typed
I'm
that
not.
line
You
up.
know, I will believe most of the stuff that he arrives at. I don't. That sounds a little bit ridiculous.
Yeah, it sounds a little off. But listen, like Halloween Havoc in October, Arn, this event has some consequential results that we're going to discuss here. So here we go. First, as a way to close out the Medusa and Paulie Dangerously storyline, the two squared off in that Clash, the Battle of the Sexes match, which we've talked about. We watched that with Medusa, and that episode, which, by the way, was a big-time episode for us, is available in the archives. But the long-lasting effect of that one, it was Paul Heyman's last appearance on WCW television. And Medusa shared with us what Bill Watts thought of both her and Paul. And to be honest, while not surprising, it was a little bit difficult to hear that her kind of relay some of that information to us. Paul goes on to run ECW, which we talked about, and would eventually become the owner after Todd Gordon, and then he went on to WWE, where he still works and is currently the special counsel and a wise man to the tribal chief, Roman Reigns. You can see Paul each and every week bowing down to Roman Reigns. Man, what a career that guy has had, though, in wrestling.
Well, yeah. I mean, when you have the aptitude that he has for the business, and you understand who you are and what the business is, and he's just got a really good mind. He does.
Absolutely. But, here in November 1992, as we talk, the Dangerous Alliance, a Paul Heyman creation, it's officially dead. But prior to its death, it was the most important heel faction in WCW. Watts once again allowed his personal feelings to get in the way of business. And you were right there for most of this, Arn. How can Watts, you think, justify losing all this Hall of Fame talent? What good comes from losing a guy like Paul Heyman? Anything that you can remember about how and why all this goes down? We talked about the other guys that left after Havoc. Now here Heyman walks away from the company, and this is all under Bill's watch.
Well, the reality is this. When you're a booker in the wrestling business and you come in and you take a job with a company, this was in the old days, and you were hired to be the booker, you would surround yourself with your guys that you had a history of trusting, that had a history of success, hopefully. And when Bill Watts came in, Paulie was a young guy in the business. You were only going to have X number of managers. Bill usually only had one, in a territory at a particular time. But he had taken up another animal. This was not just a small territory. Now you had national television, could be worldwide television, depending on syndication. And the reality is he was going to put his guys in place. I'm sure Paul did not have a choice in leaving.
Yeah.
Do we know that? Did he quit? Did he get canned?
He just it's not clear exactly what happened and what went down with he and Bill, but he's gone.